the Olympics is a can of worms, but we went. He and I, the first day, we were having breakfast in the hotel because in Tokyo, you're only allowed to be in the hotel, in their transportation, or at the venue for the first 2 weeks that you're there because it's COVID. It's wild. Like I realized how lucky I was to be there because I'm talking about like families couldn't be there.
Right. It's weird. It's empty.
Super empty. Yeah.
Do you do stuff to your eyebrows? I was like, no.
He said no.
Yeah, because I was so scared that he was going to catch that I tweezed my eyebrows.
Record. When you hit that record button, we're going.
Yeah, when it's red, it means go, which is the opposite of the streets. But
the streets?
When there's a red light, you're probably not supposed to go.
The streets. I thought you were talking about like the streets.
I'm from Sandringham, so I'm kind of like Dave Chappelle. I feel like because I'm tough and I got a lot of tattoos, people are like, yeah, Ellis is. I'm like, I'm from Sandringham, dude. Like, I am so
I like
not
how
hard.
you say Sandringham, like anyone listening has got that. Except
I'll
for
tell
the
you.
Aussies.
Sandringham is a suburb where there's no crime. There's no. I don't feel. Maybe you could.
Suburbia.
Like super normal middle class suburbia.
Single family homes.
Yeah,
Got it.
Dogs and I have my own bedroom. My whole life I have.
People
my
say
own,
have a nice day.
I think I was
Or just good day.
If you're an adult, sometimes
Good day.
I was in it. My dad was a bogan who made a bunch of money.
That's the best.
So his bogan ass, and he got lucky because his parents had the electronic shop. My grandmother's the smart one. She got electronic shop, and my granddad and my father made a bunch of money out of it and did things. And he got into the suburbs and bought a house.
Yep.
So I saw the little bogan. I got a taste of the bogan life because my dad was 20 when I was born, so he didn't have anything then. But then when he got older, he got his stuff together, and then when you're from the streets and you're 5, how many streets did I roam where I was defending myself at all times? I was just in a shitty house. It didn't even count when you're 5. Like, who cares? I don't remember going, man, I'm so hungry, Mom. Like, she told me a story about how she'd buy a meat pie and I'd eat the meat out of the middle, a meat pie from the 7-Eleven kind of styles thing, like because she was so poor.
That's full on though.
But I don't remember.
You don't remember that, I know.
Yeah,
but that
she
is
tells me
full
that
on.
story, but I don't remember going, man, Mama, just give me some pie, mate. Like it was never. It was like all I remember is, I got a motorcycle for Christmas. Not every time, but more than one time in my life, I got a freaking dirt bike for Christmas. You can't get any richer.
That's having it pretty well. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't want to mess with that. I was like, man, I am terrified.
It's interesting when that struggle that you're talking about, but when you were very young, Riley kind of went through that because when Riley was born, I didn't have much money at all. I mean, we weren't scraping by and sharing meals, but it was lean and it was hard for sure. And everything was chaotic but then when he got to an age of sort of self-awareness, things were really good.
Right. Which is
weird because you don't have
kind of like in my
you don't have that appreciation for the struggle. If you know what I mean.
You know what? But you do feel linked to it. Because I do feel linked to it, and I feel like it's a weird thing to, as I just said, I don't really recall any difficulties. Like the molestation thing I'm cutting that out. I'm just like being poor or not knowing
where
what
your
the
next
future
meal's
holds.
Come from.
Like it wasn't. I never felt that, but I totally relate to people in life that have legitimately had that. Like a lot of my friends have really starved, had no chance, and they're like, am I right? Like, Ellis, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I'm like,
well, you're a brethren to that.
Yeah, but, I'm like, to be honest, no. Right. Like, I got a YZ50 one time I fell over it for Christmas.
But that's good that you're at least, you have the perspective where you're not just jumping in like, I know, bro. I got it. Because I think a lot of people, they like to present that as their persona, especially when they're successful. Right. And I don't know. The harder I get,
like
for sure, the same thing. I never tried to present it as Like I was living on the streets. No, I wasn't. I made what I thought was crazy money for a teenager.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yep.
And then lost almost all of it.
Right. And it looked like it was over for all of us.
Right.
It looked like skateboarding was your future was
right.
I'm getting this amount right now, but what's next is bleak.
It was bleak, but I did have at the very least a home and
you'd already
a mortgage that I could feasibly afford.
Hopefully
for a few years. Right. I did have to scrape by to make that happen for sure. But I'm just saying,
especially when you're really young.
Level of, what's that?
Especially when you're really young. You were young as hell when that happened.
Yeah. I get you, right.
Yeah, that was a funny era for anybody to when you've been around as long as we have, there's eras where if you were as good as I was in this era, you made this much. If you were as good as that in this era, you made this much. And if you've been around all the eras, you can see where it's like, oh man, I would have totally had that deal. Like,
it's funny. I was talking to so I just got back from Tokyo for the Olympics.
Yes, I saw
first
that.
events.
Well played, by the way.
Thank you.
You did great. I'm there.
Thank you very much.
Lady, teaching her how to skateboard, giving her a trick.
Oh yeah.
Nice work. I was like, man, you are getting punished.
That's what they had me there for. It wasn't to be the commentator though, and that's why I bring it up because the NBC commentator, one of them, is Paul Zitzer.
Right, love it.
Who's a former
shredding still, man.
Pro skater. He's
a legend.
And was a really good vert skater.
Yep.
Rode for Birdhouse for a hot minute. We actually had a model. But his memories of our skating together, of Birdhouse, of his heyday, basically, was when skateboarding was at its lowest point.
Man.
And that's when he was ripping probably his hardest.
Yeah.
And it was a really interesting perspective to hear from him where these memories are so vivid. And those are the memories, for the most part, that I blocked out because those were the lean days of Birdhouse, 6 of us in a van sharing one hotel room, like all that stuff. It's funny, but it was super hard, especially for me who was responsible for everyone.
Yeah.
And he remembers it as like, we were on tour. Like,
that's
it was
what
cool.
tours are.
And also he has such vivid memories of our interactions with like Willie and with Jeremy Klein and how he went to France for the Bourges summer camp at a time when it was bleak.
Right.
But he got to go to France for a month.
Yeah.
And so it was just an interesting perspective because I don't have that same affinity or appreciation for those days.
See, I think that's why the Tony Hawk, the gigantic skate park tour was mind-boggling to me. Like I could not fucking handle how great my life
that we had a tour bus.
Yeah, because I was on those tours with I just forgot his name.
Salema.
No, we're just talking about
Paul Zitzer.
Zitzer,
yeah.
I did tours with I didn't do the Birdhouse tour, but I did Bones Brigade tours where we were in a van. Mike Vallejo, we were in a van, driving around everyone's armpits, and you know what I mean. Like at one point, Mike wasn't in the van, so Moses Sikona, who's a vert dude who was on the Bones Brigade with me, and we were like Red Dragon idiots. So we were the older people, so we ran the back of the van, and he's no smoking weed in the van, and Moses bought a bong. It was just like, I don't give a fuck. Fucking. And I'm like, dude.
With Mike V driving?
No. Oh, dude, that would have been a for sure fist fight. For sure. No, other people that are less out of control. He knew he was going to get away with it. People were going to be mad, but they weren't going to really question Moses because he was the higher ranking guy.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Rob, one of the guys that works at Bones is a good guy, and was just like, really, guys, really? You know what I mean? And I'm in the back going, oh my God, did you just blew a giant mull bong into the window of the driver? Like, this is not cool. I was like, fuck that guy, I don't give a shit. But I'm like, when's the next demo? And it was just, to me, I was like, this is the life. We all stayed in a room together. And then like getting to this other level where I'm like, if you told me that I was going to be in a room with someone, I'd be like, really? Like, how hard did I drop?
Yeah.
Because things changed. And then you had a bus that had a button to make the door open.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm like, we're getting out of a bus, and it's like, I still forget. You sent me that English demo the other day. I was telling my wife the other day, the adrenaline I forget of a stadium of people. This is your making. I'm just like in the bus hanging out, and it's like we're doing the demo, Ellis, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm always up for the demo. And then the door opens, and I'm like, whoa, who's playing today? It's like,
yeah,
you are. I'm like, I am.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pass the ball to anybody. Yeah. And I'm like, this is a goddamn sea of people. You can feel it. Yeah. And all of a sudden you skate different because I was coming to go for it, but they gave me, these extra thousands of people that I have no idea. They're not there for me anyway.
You tried some crazy bomb drops on those trips.
Because I knew it. I've always
you had to.
I knew that this was my only chance to be in skateboarding and be a part of something that I was like, this is the greatest thing that other people might like other parts of skateboarding. This had all the things I wanted in skateboarding. Massive amounts of vert skateboarding. Massive amounts of vert skateboarders, the best ones, all celebrating afterwards, having parties like, Jace, you should totally drink with us. And I'm like, really? And I'm just in with everybody. And then we're going on a roller coaster. We'll fucking jump out of the plane. NASCAR. And I'm like, NASCAR? I love NASCAR. Like everything was happening in this way where I'm like, somebody's going to get a video of this. Yeah. It's on TV, Jason. Don't worry about it. I'm like, I love being on TV. Are you shitting me? It just kept getting better.
Do you remember we got that, what was it? The Ferrari?
Yes, of course I do. So now I'm going to zitzer you.
Okay. Well, okay, no, hold on. I have to clarify those. Zitzer, I take it back. It wasn't his heyday, but it was definitely when he was on the rise of his skating. Paul did do like Huck Jam with us when we did Six Flags. Like his career maintained.
He's also a guy that would never be pulled into the bullshit. He's the kind of guy that because I would love fancy pants, and if I had fancy pants on that day and Paul was there, I'd start to feel bad about my fancy pants. Because I'm like, God damn it, reality-based Zitzer is here.
Reality-based.
He just, I remember one time I tweaked my eyebrows and he's like, do you do stuff to your eyebrows? I was like, no.
He said no.
Yeah, because I was so scared that he was going to catch that I tweezed my eyebrows. Because that was when I did tweeze this might not be for your show. Yeah, it's okay. I was a little bit gay and not sure. And I was doing that. And I think that's like some little effeminate thing. I don't know why I did it, but it got crazy. And they were thin.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just OCD'd them. And I remember like I'll see photos from that era and I'm like, oh, what do you mean you told people you didn't do it? It's impossible to be born with those eyebrows. You look like a freaking... Like, just like, hey, no, I didn't. I'm like, wow, I just went for it at one point. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Zitzer pointed it out one time, and I'm like, because he's reality-based, the only guy that would point it out.
But he's not, it's not like he's going to give you shit to your face about it. He's just...
I think he did, yeah.
I mean, maybe a little bit, but in a subtle way.
He didn't hate me, but I definitely think there was times there where my flamboyant, over-the-top thing, and he right next to Paul is like it reminds me of my co-host because he's so
just
grounded.
Contrast.
Yeah, like I'm like blah, 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 and he's like, who does that? You know what I mean? And I'm like, God, me. It's hard not to feel bad for being me when I'm near him. Attention, listeners across the galaxy, all the way from Australia to Houston. Do we have a pube problem? If so, our friends at Manscaped have cleared you for takeoff with their 4th-generation and brand new lawnmower 4.0. Kick your pubes to the next planet with the Performance Package 4.0. The orbits in your pants will feel like you're in zero gravity when you use the best tools for the job from the leaders in male grooming. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped to get your rocket ready for takeoff by going to manscaped.com for 20% off. Free shipping with the code HawkWolf.
Really working that space theme. Just going for it.
I got a lot of tricks, Tony, and I'm not afraid to use them. Have you got a Manscaped, right? You put it in your nose or something, don't you?
Yes.
Right. So Tony does it. Yep. I do it everywhere, you guys. And there's been stories. Those of you who do trim near the genital area, if you've got a pair of clippers and you start trying to go down there, huge mistake. It's got teeth. They're lying. So you got to watch out for that. Manscaped, different story entirely.
Have you bled?
I have so many stories. I was shaving before anybody like Manscaped showed up in the world, so I am trial and error. Yes,
you're the pioneer.
I've had it where I wasn't sure, and then later on I looked down and was like, "Whoa!" Because I guess I caused a lot of holes.
Don't you feel when the water hits it though?
Yeah, but I wasn't putting water on it until after I'd already stabbed it so many times. Anyway, I got to move on.
That's what I get for asking.
Yeah, 20% off with free shipping. If you use the code HawkWolf at manscaped.com, that's 20% off free shipping with the code HawkWolf at manscaped.com for clean Trinity and beyond. Wow, these guys love this. For a clean Trinity and beyond. Your space balls will thank you.
I like. You know what? I approve. Spaceballs reference. Okay. Good one.
Hey everybody, Ellis made here with the Birdman. MagicSpoon cereal, futuristic cereal. It's a cereal that's fun. As a guy that grew up who really liked, I think Cocoa Puffs might have been as flexing as you could get. And then I came to America when I was 17, and I became a small child again because you had marshmallows and all kinds of candy and so much fun. And nobody had any of that. So I relived it again. And now I'm almost 50. Now I yet again wake up in the morning and hit the MagicSpoon I like to put them all in there because I don't care. I don't answer to anybody. I just put a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Yeah, I put all the different flavors in there. And then it's kind of like a healthier, like a fruity pebble vibe, but not getting lied to. I got to train. I got to work out. I'm in a hurry. I'm old. I want to skate with Tony. But I really like candy. And this is how I get away
candy.
With it.
Cereal.
Yeah, but it tastes like candy. That's how these guys, I'm telling you, they figured it out.
Okay.
MagicSpoon is cheating, but not cheating. It's got.
I just don't want you to mislead people with the word candy.
Well, look, if you like really candy flavored sweet cereal that's fun, but you don't want to be fat, just listen to this.
That's it. Okay, there you go. No,
0 grams of sugar, but you won't know. It tastes like it's got sugar in it. 13 to 14 grams.
There was a cereal when I was a kid called Freakies, and that was my favorite. And it reminds me of that.
That sounds so much fun. I bet you Freakies hasn't got anymore. 14 grams of protein and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving, only 140 calories a serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. There's variety packs, as I said. There's cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter. You could. I got all 4, so I put them all in the bulk. You don't have to, but you could. It's pretty nice. I've done it. Anyway, go to magicspoon.com/HawkWolf to grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use the promo code HawkWolf at checkout.
HawkWolf.
That's right. Thank you, Tony. And save $5 off your order, everybody. And MagicSpoon is so confident in their product, they should be. It's backed with 100% happiness guaranteed. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund you your money. No questions asked, mate. Remember to go your next delicious bowl of gluten-free cereal at magicspoon.com/HawkWolf and use the code HawkWolf to save $5. Thank you, MagicSpoon, for sponsoring this episode.
Thank you. Of all the unlikely things I thought he would do, I never imagined he would be the commentator.
Excellent commentator too.
Yeah, super good because he skates.
He knows it all. That's right.
And he can give some insight. And he and I, so the Olympics is a can of worms, but we went. He and I, the first day we were having breakfast in the hotel because in Tokyo you're only allowed to be in the hotel, in their transportation, or at the venue for the first 2 weeks that you're there because it's COVID. It's wild. Like I realized how lucky I was to be there because I'm talking about like families couldn't be there.
Right. It's weird. It's empty.
Super empty. Yeah. And it's empty. And they even cut out people from going to the venue who are there for the Olympics. Like it's that tight.
Okay.
So people who are there are like, well, I guess I'll see you back at the, Athlete Village or whatever it is.
So there was a place you could all hang out?
I could not. The only time I could see the skaters was if they were practicing.
Okay. So at the hotel room solo?
Yeah, because the Athlete Village is its own place. It's like its own island.
Oh.
Onto itself.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm at the hotel with all the NBC people.
Got it.
So I'm there with like Savannah Guthrie and Hoda and all the
Sal Masekela.
Salama I didn't see him at that hotel, but I did see him at the production office.
Right.
For
surfing looked weird.
Surfing was tricky. But anyway, Paul and I, we have this morning, and then he's like, are you going to try to skate? I'm like, yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can, but let's bring our stuff at the very least, And so we go and we have sort of a liaison that's supposed to handle what I do for my schedule and whatnot. And so she's saying like, well, let's go to this office and we'll go find out who this is. I was like, no, let's just go to the park.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to alert all these different factions of people that we're trying to skate. Let's just go to the park. For sure, Paul and I know someone there. Hopefully they're in charge.
Yeah. It's not a bad plan.
Yeah, like better to ask.
They're going to know you.
Forgiveness than permission going into it for sure.
Yeah.
And so then we find one of the world skate dudes who we kind of know, but then we find Joe, who built the park.
Oh, nice.
California Skate Parks dudes. They're like, yeah, man, I want to see you skate it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Locked in.
We're in.
I noticed that. And then you guys followed each other around like a bunch of little kids. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, we knew we were on borrowed time at that point.
Right.
But also we kept saying, when people would question us at all, like, how'd you guys get in the park? Like, we got to know what we're talking about on the mic.
Oh, nice. That's a sweet angle.
We need to get a feel for this to know which parts are big and which parts are,
such a good idea.
Challenging. Yeah.
Can't even argue that at all.
So then for the next 2 days,
you kept researching it?
Yeah, we kept doing that. Every morning.
You never know. You might find a little pocket there.
It was it was like
muggy or?
Yeah.
Because it didn't see the sun. It seemed cloudy.
It was cloudy for the women's street, but men's street, I was standing on the sidelines sweating through my shirt. I purposely wore a black shirt because I knew you'd just see it wet.
Oh, wow. Is that hot there?
Yeah.
Are they in summer?
Yeah.
Did you go to some restaurants? Because I saw you at restaurants. They weren't at the hotel?
At the hotel.
Just at the hotel, but they had more than one?
I might have gone to a restaurant.
I was like, one of them looks like it's pretty gnarly.
I might have gone to a nice restaurant.
How did you get to do that?
When I realized that they weren't really tracking your every movement. Oh. And I was in the vicinity of the hotel, so it could have looked like I was at the hotel.
Wow. Because they weren't watching you that hard. So
some people were under more scrutiny than others, for sure. And there was an app. If you install the app, the app is crazy. It tracks your every movement, which is fine. I had one app that was tracking movement, but this one tracks your every movement and will alert you if you've been in the area of someone that has been known to have COVID.
Oh, wow.
Or that you're near someone else with the same app. So if you're standing too close to someone that has the same app installed, it starts beeping at you.
Okay, that's
full on.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Big brother.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It's a little too much.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, you realize how scarce it was to be able to go. Yeah. So, and I was only there for street and the opening ceremonies. And I kept asking them, I want to stay. I want to watch Park. Like, that's more my thing. And they're just like, no.
No.
Yeah.
You got to go.
You got to go.
Okay, they weren't playing.
Yeah.
What's up with Nigel? Just choked, huh?
I think, well, it was, for one.
That's not like him, correct?
It's not like him, but it is like him in the sense that he would not compromise. Like, he wouldn't just do one solid run.
Right. He was just looking for the banger.
That's like kind of holding back. Because like the whole format comes from street league. So you get 2 45-second runs, each one scored. Then you get 5 tries at one trick.
Right.
But those 5 tries and that one trick can count for just as much as a 45-second run, which I don't think is a great format.
No.
Because it's like...
So wait, if you make all 5, that counts for more?
No, it's just all your best. So you have your 4 out of 7 best scores.
Okay.
Right? So either across whatever, if it's a one trick or if it's your whole run, that's the score that is the highest. That's the one they're going to take. But my point is, some dude does a 45-second run that has whatever, 10 tricks in it, right? Some are super hard. Some are probably a little more basic.
Yeah.
And then they do one kind of banger trick, and that trick will score just as high as this entire routine you did.
Yeah. Which
I don't think really reflects the consistency and the skill levels.
No.
Because I think a routine is way harder. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. They're just pushing for that big trick, though.
For the big trick. Yeah. But I don't think that comes across well for the home audience.
Yeah. It didn't come across well for Nigel Houston.
So, but what happened with Nyjah is that he wouldn't just put 4 scores on the board to get in. You know what I mean? Like, he had some okay runs, but his whole thing is like, all he had to do was kind of do something that was not easy for him, but a little bit on the mellow scale for him.
Yeah.
And would score pretty well. That would put him in the medal contention, right? This is my theory on it.
Yeah.
So he would have landed a couple tricks that, you know, aren't like the signature Nyjah bangers,
right,
but still super hard and probably above most of the others.
Right.
Then that would have put him like in 3rd, maybe 2nd.
Yeah. Did anybody else?
But he doesn't want it. He doesn't want that. He wants the glory, the banger. And I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Like, I respect that.
Yep.
And it didn't work out for him, but that was what he's going for.
I respect that too.
I mean, he's trying to cab kickflip back lip.
Yeah.
Down the handrail. And I think in his mind, all he saw was that one he makes, and it's like,
it's over.
It's over. Right. Yeah. And riding away, like, that's it.
And he usually seems like the kind of guy that is in 5 tries, he's going to make that.
Right.
I was surprised.
But that's the thing. It's like that tin cup kind of attitude where it's just like, I'm doing it the hardest thing, and that's the only thing that's on my plate.
Well, maybe when it comes to doing the hardest thing there is, maybe that's, you put so much focus in that you can't like, right.
You can't see
veer off. Yeah.
You
just like,
you can't see the perspective. And that's what I said too. But also, like, I appreciate that as a competitor, you know, it's just like, it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
And it's the Olympics. So I get it.
Right. If you're an athlete, all or nothing is, especially like when it goes both ways, because you still know that person went all or nothing, and you got to respect it because you've been there. And I've been at where I'm like, hey, I'll safety dance, get in the final, and then I'll go for broke. Like, going for broke straight off the bat, you're a madman. But if you do it, I'm like, nice.
Yeah,
I like how you just didn't give a fuck right there. That was excellent.
That was in our day. That was Lester.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Lester's like, he's only going 10 feet.
Yeah.
And if he's not, he's bailing.
See, that was that's how I was. Those stories were the ones that made me want to be a pro skateboarder.
Right.
Like, people that just sounded like they were so violent, and they're not violent people. Like Chris Miller screaming when he's taking off into the air, and I'm like, he's screaming because he's so angry at his ride. Like, he's like, this is, and I'm like, you're getting your aggression.
And in our eyes, that ride is sick.
Yeah. Or ones where you're like, I'm definitely going to almost die. And you're like, nah, fuck it. And you just charge in. Those ones are ones where I'll pull my own face. Like, let's rage. Like, we should just start tipping cars. I've seen people do backsides where I felt like tipping a car after it because I was like, he doesn't care at all. None of you understand how little he cares.
I feel like that was you felt that vibe from Calvin Hoffler from Brazil. He got 3rd.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, because I don't know if he
thought he was slide tail slide thing. Is it that guy?
Yes.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, no slide, tail slide. Amazing, right?
What is that?
And then Jagger just like with slow consistency just came up 2nd place.
He was like, if you don't make that big one, Nyjah, I'm going to be.
I'm just, but he was just chipping away at the score. You know what I mean? He had the strategy.
Different technique.
Different technique. Same with Momiji, who won the women's. Like, you didn't really expect her to win, but then when you saw her just building upon the last one, building, and it was kind of conservative, but still taking some chances. And then at the end, like, all right, I'm in a good spot and I'm going for it.
Right. And it worked out.
Yeah.
You did Whitney Cummings' show?
Yeah.
Whitney Cummings said stuff about us, not just you. These guys love this show.
Oh, yeah.
Because of this.
She listened to a few of our episodes.
Dude, whatever it says what our show is, get it, erase it, and type out whatever she said. Because it was the coolest thing I've ever heard about a show that I've been on ever. Easily.
Yeah, she really did listen. And I don't know if you saw when I was on it, but there's a guy that does one of her writers.
Yeah.
And he's a hardcore skater.
Okay, that's why he was on.
What's that?
That's why he was on with her that day, or is he always on?
Yeah, and then he came on to ask me questions, like super hardcore skate trivia nerd questions.
Oh, okay. Oh, and he had like some good ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like who was your favorite Birdhouse alum?
Oh shit! Like he knew
stuff like that.
He knew all like your.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He got her a Riley Hawk shirt.
She had it on right when she was interviewing. Yeah. No, when I saw the
it was cool. It was super fun.
Yeah.
Her house is crazy. Her house is mad. Oh my God, her house. I thought I was going into like a mafia murder scene because the whole house is under construction. So when I drove up, I didn't see the sign of any life or anyone there. And I drove up and there's a Postmates dude that's looking at me like, where do I leave this? I'm like, I don't even know where the front door is. I don't.
Yeah. And where is it?
Like war zone.
How does
way
it work
up,
then?
way north of LA. What's that?
No, but I mean, like, why? Where's if you can't see the house from the front of the house? I don't know.
It was just everything had either plastic on it or construction zone, and so I end up like finding the front door, but the front door has plastic all over it.
Yeah.
So you have to like kind of finagle it open.
The front door has plastic on it to not open.
Yeah, because it's all under construction. And then I go in and there's just all the scaffolding set up. And so I have to like go up the stairs ducking. I'm alone in the house.
Where is everybody else?
I don't know. And so I'm alone. And then I finally come to a door and I'm like, I think I can hear people behind the door, but I don't know. I don't know if it's like Whitney's bedroom.
Yeah.
And so I knock.
Yeah.
I knock and no one answers. So then I make my way back out. And then now I'm the Postmates delivery guy. So I'm holding the Postmates and I'm just walking around the house and I finally see a door with like something taped for the Wi-Fi password. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is where I'm supposed to be going.
Did you text anybody? Like, hey, I'm like outside your whatever this is. Is anybody here?
I didn't have anyone's numbers.
At
the time? I mean, I definitely had emails and whatnot, but I know I'm here, right? I know I'm there. And I'm like,
you're just going to keep circling.
I'm like maybe 20 minutes early. So
you're just going to circle Whitney Cummings' house until you find an entry.
It got to be here. Yeah. So then I go up those stairs.
Yeah.
Then I go up into a hallway and then I hear them in this one room and I'm like, oh, hey. And they're like, hey. I go, I didn't know where to go. Oh, sorry. Yeah. The house is under construction or whatever. Like we didn't know you were here yet.
So the studio's fine.
Studio's fine.
Everything else is under construction.
Yeah. But you know what's funny is the door I was knocking on was the door before the studio, but they didn't hear me.
Oh,
so
okay.
Anyway, that's my cool story.
They're seriously not prepared for you to come over.
No, but she's living in chaos.
Yeah, but is it a really nice house?
Yes.
Is the construction going to make it like? I imagine her to live in a house that looks like John Wick's house, the one that he had before it got exploded in John Wick 3.
No, I'm not the John Wick movie. Sorry.
What? You don't like John Wick?
I just don't. I haven't watched all of them.
He killed 3 guys with a fucking pencil.
Then I should watch it.
Wait, you haven't seen them all?
I know I've seen at least one of them.
They're so much fun to me. I just watch them all the time.
Yeah, I most of the movies I'm watching is just either with my wife, and they're usually a little more serious subject matter or more sci-fi.
Yeah. Wait, are you a sci-fi guy?
Yeah.
Do you like Star Trek?
Not Star Trek, more like
Star Wars.
No, more like the crazy ones with
what like
I can't think of one.
What's the one where
definitely Alien.
All right, guy goes into the
that.
Yeah.
Right.
What's that movie called?
I forgot.
I don't know what. Where he goes into the future and comes back. His daughter's old.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it is great.
Good movie.
I agree. Good movie.
Can't think of the name.
Yeah, me neither. I remember, Aubrey Marcus, the guy the On It guy, good friend of mine. That movie changed his life.
Really?
Yeah, like he's a guy who's like, I was like, hey man, did you see that movie? Yeah. Oh, did I see it? It's the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life of all movies ever. And I'm like, of all movies?
Wow.
Is it Interstellar? I think it's Interstellar.
Interstellar, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow, that is a huge, best ever.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey. I love that part where they go to the other planet where time moves differently.
Yeah.
And then they get back to the ship. And they've been gone like 10 years.
Yeah, and way more than 10, wasn't it?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no,
that was sick. Yeah. It was hard to watch as a parent, though. It was.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how he's going to feel when he has kids about that movie, if it's going to be the greatest movie you've ever seen after that.
Where were we? We went off tangent.
Sorry, Whitney Cummings thing really threw me off.
Oh, yeah. No, she was great. And I was there. I actually was there. I was there for like 2.5 hours and I had dinner plans. And so I kind of had to rush out.
Yeah.
But she was going to keep me there for at least another hour.
To do more of the show?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wait, so sometimes she does shows that goes for hours.
I mean, we probably would have gone at least 2.5, I think, or 3. Well, I was there for 2.
Okay.
Hour and a half, 2 hours.
Do they play the whole thing or do they chop it up? Kind of what kind of angle do they go?
I think that they played it all through. I think that they did some stuff before I got there. So there's a good 45 minutes before I even get there. But it was super cool. And she's been a great resource for, I'm going way off it now, but she's been a great resource for migraines.
Oh, yeah?
Because my wife suffers from migraines. And she's like the maestro of information.
Oh, shit, because she suffers from that stuff.
Yes. Like she'll be in the hospital for days with migraines.
Oh, my God. What is this thing that I've never even...
And it mostly affects women. And so she's like, that's why it's not as researched. And she has all this info, and she actually like gave Kathy some direction of stuff to preempt, like if she feels it coming on, to get this stuff and get this stuff and try this. Yeah,
man, that goes a long way.
She sorry, I got sick. I don't have COVID, but I got sick when I was in Japan.
It's okay. Wait, you still got something in Japan?
Yeah, it was the first time I actually got sick since COVID began, which is super weird to all of a sudden experience that again.
Does that mean you had to do work while you were sick?
Yeah, but whatever.
I love skateboarders. I mean, I had to, so that's...
Can you imagine going there and being like, I don't feel good?
Right.
Nah, I'm not going to do the Today Show.
Yeah, I don't, yeah. You got to go. That's how I feel about doing that stupid stunt where I was like, man, you got to go.
Set up, yeah.
Everybody's here.
Well, they called the party. I guess I'll come.
Yep. Oh, wait, what's that from?
I forgot.
No, Tanner Faust.
Anyway.
Tanner Faust was there, man. I'm like, you flew Tanner Faust in? This is so lame. He's really cool, by the way. He's a good dude. Very professional. If I was to jump out of a car again, I would want Tanner Faust to be the driver. He's excellent.
I'm not sure, but I did that Top Gear show.
Yeah.
When it was in the U.S. and not in England.
Yeah. It's here again, isn't it? Isn't it Dax and all those guys do it now?
Do you know the Stig? The Stig is like the mystery driver that's on the show, Top Gear, right?
Yeah, okay.
Top Gear, yeah.
Yeah, and they have a mystery driver.
So and he's sworn to secrecy, and you don't know who he is when you go on the show, and you have to race against him a lot of the times.
Oh, cool.
And I guess some dude, and I might be getting all this information wrong, but the one who was in the UK actually wrote a book like I was the Stig. I am the Stig. And,
right.
He broke the contract.
Oh.
But I met the Stig in Top Gear, and I thought it might have been Tanner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because I looked at him, I was like, have we met? And he goes, like,
oh,
and I don't think he's supposed to give any information away, but I don't know.
Oh, wait, because he had a mask on or something?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I mean, he is the guy to hire because I could just tell he was so professional.
Drive anything.
And he was just like safety first guy. And if you're hiring a TV driver, you want this guy. Like the word would get out, stunt guys would get out. This guy runs it to the T. And then when you're doing stunts, that's kind of like half the battle. It's like if someone's like, you'll be, just fucking, you'll be all right. That guy needs to be fired.
Yeah.
In stunts, it's like, man, you land right there. If you do this speed, you land right there, and I'll put you there every single time. Because he put me in the same spot every single time. I could tell. I was like, because I did it with the other guy the day before, and I'm like, oh, wow. Once again, should have waited for you. Yeah.
Well, how do we get him back?
He would come back. I mean, he had my back more than pretty much everybody there, because he was like, man, it seems kind of like that landing. And I was like, yeah, it's not good. And he's like, why are they doing that? I'm like, I was like, I asked for a resume. He's like, that's not a resume. I'm like, I know. He's like,
I feel like we have to call Woodward to get a resume.
It's somebody like that, right?
Yeah.
It seems like that, which means it's a bit of a mission. You know, the other thing is
it should be. It shouldn't be just something you set up in the parking lot and go. It should be like a whole thing.
Yeah. I also feel like with a resume, you can go further. You can make it look bigger. You can do it bigger.
Sure.
If it's a step up and the car does most of the work, that was my whole thing. If the car does a jump where you're like, no way anybody should be standing on the side of that car when that happens.
Right.
I got that bit. You know, like you guys might not, but I do.
Yeah.
And then stepping off and flying in the air on a skateboard, that bit's like, whoa, nobody would do. Danny Way would do that, and I could do that.
Yeah.
Like that's somebody I'm like, if he was there, he knows moto and he knows skateboarding enough to be like, I time it, because it's all it is. Cab could do it. You know, it's someone who knows dirt jumps and skateboarding at a high level. And then then it's not that difficult if you build it right.
Right.
You got me fired up with that text message. It's like, I can't help myself. You're like, hey man, like we're gonna skate today, and I was like, yeah, of course. And you're like, someone might film kickflip indie, and I just text laugh because I seriously was just laughing at your text message. I'm like, yeah, Rob did for sure. And then I can't help it. Every moment that I don't have to do all the other shit that I do in my life, I'm like,
kickflip indie?
Yeah, I'm like, just get it into your hand and then roll away. You could do that. You could do that.
Yeah?
Like I'm.
Well, whatever. A few weeks ago, we skated and you caught one that was proper. Like proper timing, in position, out far enough.
Right.
Would have happened.
So I feel like...
Well, you got a taste of it for sure.
I feel like that, when I did that, because I recall that, it was still when I was in the air and not knowing where my landing is anymore. And after the last time we skateboarded, where I did two aerials back to back. This is so lame for everybody, but it's a thing that I just was like putting aside because it was so demoralizing, because it should be fucking basic to me. But it was like, whoa.
Yeah, but
and then the second one, I'm like, whoa.
You can't expect to just jump into that rhythm when you're only skating once a week at the most.
Right.
At the most. And we're talking about it's more like once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, probably. Consistently, it's never every week. Yeah.
Right. I mean, if I take a break for 4 or 5 days, I feel like my rhythm's gone.
Oh, wow.
You know, so there's certain go-tos I have, but I'm not confident to be like, all right, here we go. Right. It's a full session. Let's do it.
Right. Well, I'm gonna have a week off. I'm super excited about not doing stuff for like 5 days and being down here and be like, I don't know, get a burrito. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't get a burrito.
When is that?
On the 7th.
Okay,
I come down, so I'm here for a week.
Let's skate.
Yeah, I'll skate. I'm gonna go surf. I'm gonna go play golf. Because the skateboarders talking golf.
That's Riley. Riley plays golf,
and you won't do it.
No, I don't. It's not that. I appreciate everyone does it. I'm not good at it.
Yeah,
I don't have the patience to get good at it.
Okay.
And it's hard for me to justify devoting 3 to 4 hours a day.
Who's doing 3 to 4 hours a day?
You don't play 18 holes?
Yeah, but you don't go every day.
No. I'm just saying, but even 3 to 4 hours, like to commit that much time to anything right now would be hard for me to justify. That's all I'm saying. And I don't like. People do what they want. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that it sucks that people do that. I think it's awesome, especially when you're good at it. It's enjoyable. Yeah. But I don't really enjoy it, and I wouldn't enjoy the process of trying to get better at it.
What about when you don't skate anymore?
I don't know. Stacey Peralta is convinced that I should take up kite surfing.
That's a tough ask. Because I get he might have an angle.
Well, that's what he does, and he loves it, and that's his outlet. And
how old is he?
I don't know.
70?
No.
65?
No. Nah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, let's see. He's probably not more than 10 years older than me. He's probably 60-something.
Okay. And he's like out in the waves doing aerials and shit.
Well, yeah. Because
those things...
Flying. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, no, he sent me video. He does it with Jerry Lopez.
And he's flying around
yeah. But he's so convincing of it. And I just said, Stacey, I don't have the resources to make that happen. And you gotta be up in NorCal for the most part.
Oh.
To get that going.
Why?
If not because that's where all the wind and the waves are.
Oh. I don't really want to be in the wind.
Yeah, I had to.
In the ocean is my favorite part.
I had to do a commercial one time where they wanted us, and I cannot find this commercial. I have been searching for it every once in a while for years. I can't find it. So Alfonso Rawls and I did a Levi's commercial in like 94-ish, maybe 95.
Yeah.
And we had the skateboards with the off-road wheels. Did you ever see those? They were like tires.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to have this giant mounting hardware to put them on.
I used to have some.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Clear grip tape.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Clear grip
Well,
tape?
it was like a whole kit.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Built for the dirt. Right.
Built for the dirt.
Yeah.
So it was a skateboard that was like a
dirt board.
Off-road board. And so we went up to the salt flats up by Victorville. This was for a commercial. It was directed by Joe Pitka, who directed Space Jam.
Oh my!
It was big time stuff
for a Levi's ad on dirt boards.
For a Levi's ad,
did Elf have his shirt off?
No.
Okay,
I don't think so. I don't know.
He's pretty fit.
He is.
He's a good model, good looking dude.
Oh yeah, Alf is amazing. Super talented.
Right?
Yeah.
I like his new shoes too.
Yeah. Have you seen the skateboards he's been doing?
Yes.
The collabs?
Yeah, I love them.
Soy.
I love everything that dude does.
Yeah. So, all right. Anyway, and Alf and I got hired only because of like our skateability and I guess our looks. Because no one knew who we were in the Hollywood industry. Right. This is like, this is the low point of skating.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had to learn how to kite. Like how to use kites because that was the concept.
Oh, you were kiteboarding.
We were kiteboarding across the salt flats.
Oh, wow.
And so he and I had to like go learn on our own in these big parking lots in LA to just figure out how to even navigate the wind, how to zigzag back towards the it was like a whole thing.
Did you have like a sailing person there telling you how to use the wind?
Yes, a kite surfer.
Yeah.
Or no, I don't know if it was a kite surfer or a wind surfer. Yeah, something like that. But anyway, they were trying to give us the right thing, but at the same time, no one had really done this. So we're doing, and then as we're shooting, I'll never forget Joe Pitka. He was pretty harsh, but he's like, "Come on, do some shit. Come on." And I'm like, "I'm doing the thing. I'm hauling ass." Yeah. He wanted me to do like kickflips and shove-its
while you were kite flying.
Yes.
On a dirt board.
Like he wanted me to be doing pirouettes and stuff. He thought we were just going to be freestyling away across the tundra with the kites.
Wait, so he was bummed out that you were just skateboarding? He was just like,
yeah. And I did I remember trying a shove it and just eating shit because like the wheels are so grippy.
It's impossible.
It was,
They're so heavy. The board doesn't want to do anything that a skateboard does. That makes... Flip the board is like...
I don't think he wanted... Well, there was... Kickflips were out of the question.
But spin.
But yeah, just do anything like he really thought... he wanted like...
How are you supposed to grab the board when your hands are on a kite?
Yeah, you don't grab it.
You can't, right? Mm-mm. You have to hold this thing the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's got a Healy vibe to it. No offense to Stacey, but...
No. I'm just saying, that was just one example of someone saying like, this is what you should get into when you're done skating. Yeah. And to him, it's safer and it's extreme and whatever. But anyway, that commercial, I want to find that commercial so badly. I can't find it.
And are you sure you want to find
94. It? What's that?
Are you sure you want to find it?
Yeah.
Because it's you Win kiting.
I remember it was all quick, super quick cuts. You could barely see what was going on.
Barely see the cheese factor.
Yeah,
because it would have been hard.
But I mean, that was hard to figure out.
Yeah, it sounds
hard.
Okay, so that doesn't sound like it's that relaxing to be in the ocean.
Your kids are worried because other dudes are here to skate.
They're worried?
I don't know. I can see them looking in here.
Oh.
Because the crew is here to skate. Thrasher crew is here.
Oh. No, it's not. Please. I'll be done in a minute.
Can you guys hear that?
Oh, my God.
What was that?
They didn't turn the car off.
Why didn't you turn the car off?
Because one of them wanted to stay in the car while I did the show. Now she's out of the car and doesn't know how to turn her car off. Who is about to get her driver's license, I might add. Not any day soon.
When those cars first came out, where you push the button to start it,
yeah,
I could not get the hang of it, and I left Kathy's car running at a movie theater.
Wait, you couldn't find the off button?
I just forgot. Like when you're used to keys,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
keys that go in the ignition.
Yeah, and they also go. They turn on and they turn off. Did you turn the key off before you got out of the car?
No, because it's a keyless car.
Right, but you had to turn something off.
I put it in park, and then it wasn't making noise.
You just walked off.
And then I walked away. And then we got out of the movie theater.
You come back and it's just sitting there.
I'm like, why is your fan running? Oh, and it was parked on the street in LA.
Oh, so it's
not even a parking lot.
It's just unlocked and ready to go.
Unlocked car running in LA.
Anybody want a free Uber ride? Man. Yeah.
I learned my lesson.
Yeah, well, I'm currently getting schooled. That's what's happening to me.
Getting schooled.
Just her dealing with my daughter is just like the weirdest thing these days. Just, I'm gonna go to some. I want to go to a what is it? With rides and all that thing. A big thing with her friends.
Amusement park.
Yeah, no, not amusement park. Like where you get like candy and like those turkey legs and stuff. Like a fair.
A fair.
Yeah, she wants to go to a fair, and I'm like, yeah, like my friend's on an Uber, and I'm like, Uber? Like, does that mean I'm paying for that? And they're like, well, yeah. I'm like, can I drive you? They're like, would you really? And I'm like, yeah, I'll drive you. I'll pick you up too. Oh, well, the thing is, and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, I bet there's a couple of things, yeah. Yeah. A couple of them are all about to meet me if you want to go. So now those things are coming in the car.
There's a couple things.
Yeah, it's like, is it okay if one of them stays? I'm like, nah. And she's like, well, why not? I'm like, because I told you last week, like she gets too crazy with her friend where they just like pile up glasses and stuff. And I'm like, hey, can you clean that up? It's yeah. And I'm like, hey, can you clean that up? And it's like, yeah. And I'm like, hey, remember how I go to therapy, right? Because you don't want to hear me get angry, right? So this is like the 6th time. And I was like, hey, do you want to clean that up? And then she didn't. So I'm like, I'm not gonna crack. I'm just telling you that your friend can't stay and nobody can stay ever again until you start putting shit downstairs.
Here comes the Incredible Hulk.
That's it. Yeah. No, he's never coming, but your life sucks until that's it. So now it's I'm like, no, they can't stay, but I am driving them. I am picking them up. And my wife's like, why are you doing that? I'm like, well, I'm infiltrating. To me, I want to be in the car driving these fools around, see who's got the stupid face, who's like thinking something bad or got that eye where I'm like, I don't trust that motherfucker at all.
Got the eye? Do you mean because they're scheming or because they're high?
No, I don't. No, like disrespectful little shit.
I see.
Like if you're a disrespectful little shit, then I don't want my daughter to be your friend. So if you're like, thanks for the ride, or you're just like, don't even care, don't even talk to the dude. I'm like, man, that kid's a little shit,
Right.
And if you're like, hey, can so-and-so come over? I'm like, which one's that again? I'm like, I remember that person. That was a little shit. No, they can't stay. So that's my...
It's so hard to keep track of names of kids.
Yeah.
Friends.
They don't mind that you don't know their names, though. They don't know your name. You're just like their dad, someone's dad.
Yeah.
Which is appropriate. I'd like to keep it.
Yeah, I guess that's the appropriate relationship.
You can't be too friendly, especially because I look like they're so dumb right now that they would look exactly like me if they had a choice. You know what I mean? They're like, that's badass. Look at a wolf on my head. I'm like, of course you get a wolf on your head, you dumbass. You don't know shit. You got all the dumb ideas. I love your freaking hand tattoos. I'm like, yeah, you go, get no job and fucking keep on trucking.
Funny. My kids have a lot of skate friends.
Yeah,
obviously, and some are more accomplished. Some are even pro.
Yeah,
but they all skate.
Yeah,
and I will and a lot of times I'm just the dad at home.
Right.
And sometimes I'll come down to the kitchen, be grabbing something, snack or a drink or something, and I'll hear them talking on the couch about the origins of a trick or, this is how you do that. That's what this is called or whatever. And I'll be there. They know I'm there in the general vicinity.
Yeah.
They're talking about skateboarding stuff that for sure, or they're debating about it, that I absolutely have the answer to.
Yeah. But they don't ask you?
No.
Almost like you're not you?
Kinda, yeah.
How do you do that?
It's a weird dynamic. And I'll be like, you guys want to know?
Yeah.
I was there when it happened.
Yeah.
I saw it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
I saw the guy invent the trick.
You witnessed it.
Yeah.
No.
Or I did it.
Or you are the person that invented it.
Yeah. I think I heard them having a conversation about stalefish once, and I was like,
oh, man. Yeah. I used to get people with that. That used to be my go-to from the Jason Ellis show. Like, we're going to have giveaways. I'll be like, who invented the stalefish? 80% of the audience didn't know what a stalefish was. And if anybody had any clue, they say Mark Gonzalez. And I'm like, no, idiots.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk invented the stalefish. Everybody knows that. Like this little window of people.
No, but it's just a funny. It's because you're put in that role, and it's hard for them to see past that.
Yeah,
and that's fine. Like I would prefer to be their father figure than some celebrity dude or some pro skater guy.
Yeah, you're gonna get involved in conversations you don't want to be involved in if they see you like that.
I don't want to dip my toes in.
Right, like that's what I'm like. When they get a little bit older and someone's like, hey, Mr. Ellis, like I'd be like, dude, fuck off. Like, I don't want to powwow like on some hardcore shit. Like, nope, I don't know anything about what you're talking about.
It is funny.
Didn't you one time? Nope, I didn't.
It is funny though that like when I'm within earshot, I can hear this sort of youth perspective too on things that are happening that are current events in skateboarding.
What's going on?
And that's interesting.
Anything
just
new?
Whatever it is. Well, I mean, the Olympics are happening.
Is that cool or no?
It's just interesting
to them.
No, it's cool to them, sure, but I'm just talking about like in the minutia of the stuff they talk about.
Yeah,
where they're talking about so and so should have done this or so and so this, and I'm just like, that's interesting. You think that? I'm not going to debate them on it, but I have my own opinions.
Do you think they're stupid?
No, I think that they just have they're not stupid, and maybe they see it in ways that a large population of people do see it.
Mm.
Because they have this different journey to finding it or what they like about certain things. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I'm hanging out with Paul Zitzer. Like we laugh that eggplants are the go-to thing.
Yes, that is funny.
Right?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Eggplant was like a trick you filled in time for.
Yeah.
Right? In your runs. When we were growing up, fairly basic, not basic, but not a high scoring trick, not an important trick. If you did it well, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it was just more, a really good one. It was more like, just to add some variety to your run.
Yeah. If you fell on it, you were really bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That would be, yeah. But an eggplant now, and we're in the Olympics, is like a big deal in the park event. Nope. And I think that's funny.
Yep, that is funny.
But like my kids, that's cool.
Well, that's great.
That guy did a hand plant. He did an eggplant.
Yeah.
It wasn't a great eggplant.
Right. That's the other thing.
What I mean?
That's the other thing. I feel like I see judo wears in the Olympics.
Judo wears.
And I'm like, hey, buddy.
Yes.
Do you want to like Google some judo wears? Because what you're doing is disrespectful to the foot off the board game.
You're just kind of dangling your foot.
Yeah. It's like you're showing me that you've got two legs. About.
So when I hear the kids talk and now, a judo wear is like, that's a solid trick. Did it? Yeah. And it's just like, okay.
Man.
That's what I'm speaking of. But it doesn't mean that I know more. It just means that they have a different perspective on it, and a large population of people don't have our history either. And so I understand that.
Well, that just tells me that I could have shown up at the Olympics and cracked an eggplant in the corner. And people would have gone, oh, shit.
You would have got a photo, for sure.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I am Rusty Wallace in
like barge into practice, eggplant in the deep end, one photo, boom. Hey, look at it. Jason Ellis was here.
Yeah. No, he wasn't. But if you got a photo of something, some kind of skid mark of Jason Ellis. Fuck, man. When I do eggplants now, there was a time there where I'd be like, man, I'm going to wait way long before I put my hand down. I'm going to make my my eggplants are out of Lance Mountain.
Awesome. Yeah.
All I wanted to do was grab it later. And I remember Ben Schroeder did them too. And I was like, oh, my two favorite guys. I'm like, I am totally doing that every time I can do it. But like now, like to think that when I get upside down, I go, hey, okay, it's cool. To know at one point I'd be like.
So to my point, if someone did the eggplant like that in the Olympics,
that'd be cool, right?
It would be super cool.
Right. Oh, wow.
The way I see it.
Yeah.
But no one's got them like that because they didn't grow up skating vert.
And it would be new because someone's seen it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's had a 20-year vacation. Man, I got to talk to Mitchie Brusco. Like, come over, kid. Let me show you something that's gonna blow minds in park next year. There
are a few skaters though that have that tweaked Gons eggplant. That's like yes,
right? Because I noticed that. Yeah. That was the one that I never had.
Heimana's got one too.
Who?
Or Heimana's got a good frontside invert that turns into.
Then he turns it around into an eggplant. Yeah, those with the.
We're getting into the weeds here.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Stalling on your hands.
There's old vert dudes that are listening, like, yeah, dude, yeah, punching the ceiling. Like, you know it.
Then I want to keep talking about it.
Let's hear it.
Because those are the dudes that I want to.
Preach!
Lock it. You lock your arm, you know?
Yes.
Just stay there.
Yes.
People, didn't somebody hold your knee pads the other day?
Oh, yeah,
Somebody who looked like they don't know hand plants. I'd be like, if you don't do stalled hand plants, don't touch my leg on a stalled hand plant.
Well, that was, that took a bit of...
Because he was doing it wrong, right?
It wasn't he was doing it wrong. It was just more that what he's talking about is Chris Gregson held me up so that I could do the subway thing where I yelled my order out. But I needed that time to stall.
Right.
Longer than I can stall on my own.
Right.
So he had to balance me,
and there's a way to balance somebody in a hand plant.
And there's a way to do it super sketchy, and there's also a way that you can sabotage someone because you hold them too long.
Yeah.
And their arm collapses, my arm collapses, and then
you
suddenly all the weight's on them, and they can't hold it, and then they drop you on your head.
Yeah, you hit your face on the cobra, and then you go down the ramp.
And then you go down the ramp, exactly. So I had to explain it. We had to have a powwow at the beginning. All right, here's the deal. If you feel me like
pulling away,
or that you feel like I'm starting to drop, just let it go.
Right. And
it took a little while. There was one where he held on to I yelled the order. I'm like, all right. I'm like, turkey, provolone, mustard, pepperoni. Let me
go! Wait, you had to say let me go? He was holding.
He was holding it. And by the time he said, let me go, he had, but I was already too far gone.
Okay.
So I was, doing the like falling off a building thing, but I was all right. It's fine.
Yeah, that was, every time anyone's ever done that for me, or it's like, I've done it. I've been there. So I'm like, you're going to lean on me. And you're going to make yourself stall on me, and I'm going to be there for you. That's it. When you leave, I'm not touching you.
I do have a funny thing. I just did an Uber Eats commercial. It's probably airing now by the time when we're doing this.
Okay.
And there's one scene that they really wanted where I'm getting deliveries as I skate.
Okay.
So the whole commercial is me. I'm skating the combi at Vans Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
And an Uber Eats guy keeps coming with deliveries, but I refuse. So I do a sweeper and I grab my bag, and then I do a body jar and I grab a bag of chips from him. And so I'm doing all this other stuff. And a lot of it was was real.
Are you you're doing tricks and people are passing you bags of chips?
Yeah. And then one where the guy gives me headphones and I'm backside boneless, I put the headphones in. That was the hardest shot to do.
You really did it.
I did it and they didn't use it.
What the?
Because they were too close up on like their angle wasn't wide enough, so you can't really see what's going on. So whatever, it's fine.
Did they send it to you though?
They sent it to me.
I want to see that.
Well, the only one that they had that would looked right, like that was in the right frame, I bailed.
Oh,
so I was just like, don't use that because my foot comes off. They're like, oh no, you may like, watch it carefully. My foot comes off. I'm bailing.
Well, now you sound like I can tell that you have experience with movie TV people that don't know anything about skateboarding, and you're like, you hired me to represent skateboarding, and I'm an ambassador, so you have to make me not look like a fucking douche. And TV people are just like, oh, you were in the air, we're using it, and you're like, whoa, that's not even.
Oh, for sure. And I went through years of where I didn't have that approval, or no one was running it by me because I didn't have the clout.
Right, so you just see the aftermath and go,
yeah, I'm just like, oh,
why did you do
bummer.
it like that?
Yeah. So, no, and they were great. Like they were super great to work with. It was awesome. Where was I going with that? There's something that we were just talking about though, with the Uber Eats.
You're doing the commercial?
Oh, so there's a scene where they really wanted where I'm doing an invert and they've already delivered chips to me, and then they have a dip on the coping.
Yeah.
And so they wanted me to go into like a ho-ho.
Oh,
so I have
how much money? I hope they give you.
So hold on. So this is funny though. This is the magic of Hollywood. So I'm supposed to be doing an invert, let go of my board, dip the chip into the dip, and then bring it to my mouth, and then go back into an invert. And I was like, guys, I've done kind of a ho-ho once in my life.
Yeah.
And this is not what's happening.
Yeah, that was like in '89 too, right?
Yeah, no, I went invert, touch the coping, back to invert.
Back in, yeah.
That was it. That was my ho-ho,
yeah.
Which wasn't a ho-ho, but as close as I got.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and I don't think I can do it. And they're like, what if we have someone, like, we'll hire a bodybuilder and he'll hold you up in a handstand. And so we'll just have, like, you'll have your only your torso and your hands. And I was like, okay, but there's a whole thing with that where he has to know when to let me go. I went through the whole conversation again, right? Yeah. And we just did this for Subway. So that's kind of weird. And then they're like, all right, well, what if we have we hold up a bar there? Like we set up a bar so you can monkey hang from the bar.
Yeah.
And then we're only shooting your upper body and your hands. And then you can do it. And I was like, that could work. That might work.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not that excited about hanging above the bowl.
Yeah.
You know?
You did a chip dip ape hanger?
Well, that was, yeah, it's not an ape hanger. I mean, because is that what you call an ape hanger?
You were hanging off a pole?
Yeah.
And then you went back in?
Monkey hang. No, monkey hang. So you're hanging from my legs. I got to be upside down like an invert.
Wait, you're hanging from your...
Well, that was how we were going to do it.
Oh, okay. So you were just going to be dangling there doing the...
Dangling, and then I was just like, all right, you need to get the right height so that it's like I'm doing an invert and then I can do this thing, whatever.
Yeah.
So what happened was, finally they're getting the shot up. They're bringing the bar out, right? And they're getting the shot all ready. And I realized like the frame is so close for what they're going to see that I go, you guys, I could just literally like bend over and hang my hands down in front of you guys and do this movement.
Dip it, right, yeah.
And so that's what I did.
And
like I basically just stood up, put my hand here, the camera's here, put my hand here, and then went, whoop. That was it.
You say,
but it's like, it's that whole thing. It's the Hollywood thing where you got to set up the shot. You got to be like, there's so much that goes into it. There's so much pre-planning and pre-production. And then we get there and I was like, this is like the easiest shot we're doing today.
Right. The extra money, the outside of the box guy that's like, no, we'll do this, we'll do that. Just cost you like 20 grand for something that was going to be done.
But a lot of the time it's just because you go to the scenario when you're finally there and the reality of it is just like, oh, you guys, I know what's going on here. This is easy. Right.
We're a lot more helpful than we look.
We are.
I feel like people that hire skateboarders need to listen to us more.
And like I said, they were awesome to work with and they were very receptive to my suggestions and we made it work. And it was funny though, because I remember we shot so many tricks of doing things and grabbing. Work. And I was like, I don't understand how this fits into a commercial. I mean, we shot like 10 to 12 tricks.
And how much did they use?
And they kept saying, like, we're going to also shoot you going across the flat and stuff like that. And I was like, I know the timing of a skate run.
Yeah.
10 to 12 tricks is like almost 40 seconds.
Right.
That's only doing the tricks.
Yeah, what about the commercial that you're going to do?
So it was ambitious, but they got it like, and they had plenty to choose from. So it was cool.
Oh, wow. You
so
know,
like we got the good shots.
Oh, okay.
One of the hardest ones, ironically, was I did a fake ollie and grabbed a bag.
Yeah.
That was hard.
It does seem hard.
Yeah.
I don't have to wonder, would that be hard? That's hard.
But, it's fake ollie.
Yeah, okay. You know, when I did that movie, The Paul Blart Mall Cop, and they said, okay, Jason, it's your time to shine. It's your stunt. And I was like, oh, yeah. And he's like, yeah, like, we need you to ride up the wall and fly off the wall. And I was like, are you going to build a ramp? And they're like, well, we figured we could just, we'll just use like a bank and you can bank up the wall. Yeah. And I was like, how high up the wall do you want me to go? And they're like, like over the, and I'm like, you need to build transition that goes to 5 feet high if you want me to go like 6 or 7 feet high. And they're like, well, that wouldn't make any sense in the mall. I'm like, he's like, can't you just, it was Kevin James, can't you just ollie up there? And I was like, I'm a vert skater. Yeah. And then I had to do this fucking conversation in front of everybody where I go,
even if you were just a street skater, that is a tall order.
They wanted me to fly.
Wall ride. Yeah, to do a wall ride that's up like 6, 7 feet high. There's just, you'd have to be.
They wanted me to be in the air.
Yeah.
Like take off and land like over, like, and I'm like, you're telling me to do a backside air and there's no vert ramp.
Right.
You guys don't understand that the vert ramp is such a big part of backside airs. Like if you don't have the vert ramp, your backside air is nothing. But they made some weird transition thing and I did a wall ride. And I remember they were so bummed out at what I was giving them. And I'm pushing down the mall as hard as I can go, hitting this thing that's probably like, I don't know, 3 foot like it was, my nose was almost hitting the side. And I'd go Rip! And do some weird kick turn. And they're like, man, you can't like fly in the air like Tony Hawk does. And I'm like, vert ramp.
Yeah, Tony wouldn't do it either.
I keep saying vert ramp, and no one seems to understand.
I know.
I'm like, X Games, remember you guys saw Tony Hawk make the 900? Yeah. Okay. Remember the ramp that he was on?
Yeah. Was that a wall?
Think about how high that ramp was to Tony. And then put it in the mall, and I will jump up to the second floor if you build me a fucking vert ramp. But yeah. Those were fun days. I didn't actually mind that because that was...
No, I mean, hey, and also like...
I was way past being good. I was like, yeah, I'm not good. You hired a guy...
But they always figure out some way to make it work.
Yeah. Yeah, it worked.
Even if it's whatever, it's not the exact stunt they wanted, they always figure it out.
Yeah, and then their street stuff wasn't any more impressive.
Right.
Like, fuck, Mike was doing a 50-50 on a bench, and I was like...
I started running out of tricks because I was like, I don't know what else to do, how I can grab something. So
That's fair.
So I was like, how about a sweeper?
They would have thought that would be cool, though.
I did a sweeper.
Right.
Yeah, it's fine.
Nobody knows what
was gnarly. Body jar was frightening. Catching a bag of chips, body jar.
These people are just asking for it, just paying Tony Hawk to grab.
Better get out there now.
All right.
Okay, time to skate.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. I see that people really like it. People are always messaging me about how much better I am with Tony Hawk than by myself.
What does that mean?
People just say they love the old-time conversations. They feel like I'm having more fun. I'm like, I like my show.
Well, like and subscribe here and like subscribe there.
Thank you, Tony.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.